All right, and welcome to the Manitoba Provincial Qualifiers. It is the 2023, I almost said 2013, Riel Cup. I'm Kendall Stelmack, and I'm joined here by Orange Neon Ghost, otherwise known as Julie, from the Twitch stream. Hi, guys. So we are watching Heathens taking on Dreadnought. Dreadnought is the free agent team. Heathens are wearing the black and red jerseys on the right-hand side of the stream right now. And we just missed the New Era versus Zeal game. That was a matchup from Provincials last year. The top two teams fighting it out, and Zeal ended up taking it 4 points to 2 points. All right. So right now we are watching our single elimination matches. So we are having two 13-minute halves. They switch sides at the half. There are 2 minutes at halftime. There are no challenges, and only ball retrievers can retrieve balls. We have a 3-minute penalty for a yellow card, so we'll see what happens coming up during this game. First point on the board goes to Heathens. So Julie, you've recorded a lot of dodgeball for us. Normally you're on the Steadicam, but this time you're doing some color commentary with me today.
Yeah, I've just really enjoyed learning about dodgeball, and I want to help where I can, and yeah, also get used to not being so nervous talking and stuff.
Sounds good. All right, so that was the opening rush. It looks like ball burden is on to Dreadnought. We see them coming up to the line now, taking their shots. It looks like Red Pichet coming up to the line now. Doesn't end up throwing his ball away. It looks like he was kind of fishing for them to throw one of their balls away, because you have to have. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this one, Julie, so I'll let you know. It's 6 balls, so they run for 3 on their right-hand side of the court. The only time they can run over the center line is during that opening rush. And then whoever has majority of the balls has the burden. They throw first. And then who has the majority of the players, if the balls are evenly distributed, has the burden to throw. So right now, I believe we're still at, it looks like Dreadnought is down to 4 players right now, and Heathens has 5 players on the court. So Dreadnought now with burden to throw. That was Kyle Sabarin taking a shot. Burden now on Heathens. So it's a back and forth between the 4 players on each side of the court. It's like Casper got taken out. Coombs was taken out. So majority of the players is now left on the side for Dreadnought, so they have burden to throw. So it's just 2 players left now. It looks like the Linz brothers. Both of them staying in the wing position off to the sides. They have 4 balls in hand with burden to throw. Burden to throw, the ref signaling for Dreadnought. Dreadnought sending 2 balls over. Linz managing to dodge both of them. Now, I'm not sure which Linz is which, so the good thing they have the same last name, so I don't have to worry about getting them mixed up. I can just say last names.
That is handy. Don't have to be too specific. Good dodging from the Linz brother in the pink hat. That was a good jump.
I think that is Corey Linz. I think. Sure. Looks like they're calling out a number right now. The Linz boys throw 2 of their balls over. They get 1 back. And Colin Linz going right for the center, throwing at Sabarin. Looks like Corey Linz just got hit out in the feet, going for a jump dodge there.
Good try.
He is one of the more jumpier players that we've seen on the Heathens side. Both of the Lens boys are actually very agile. 7 minutes left in this first half of the elimination rounds. It's still the beginning of the day. It's only 10:15 a.m. here in Manitoba. We're at Dakota Fieldhouse this morning.
For being 1-5, Lynn's is doing a pretty good job staying in, actually. I'm impressed.
Yeah, he manages to get down nice and low. He's got 2 balls in hand, which is it's really good for blocking to be able to have those 2. Does manage to hold them up and miss both of those, all 3 balls being sent over now. So it looks like Dreadnought with no balls. So it looks like Colin Lins has all 6 balls, sending him right between Treebeard and Kyle Sabarin, taking out the ball retriever and the green penny.
Another good duck from Lens.
There goes Sabarin. So 4 balls now for Colin Lins. Colin going now to the right-hand guard side, or the wing. 2 players left now for Dreadnought. We have Ron Twerden and Kyle Carrier, otherwise known as Treebeard. Blocked by Lins, going straight up there, blocking with those 2 balls. A little bit of a high shot from Lins, going up over the head of Carrier, who's 6'3", and that's a pretty good shot to take from the knees.
Another good block from Lins.
Yeah, Lins is going to be heavy on the blocking right now. 1 ball being sent over, another ball being sent over. It looks like they're staggering their shots. Lins wasn't expecting that last shot, but manages to see it at the last second and block it. So it looks like all the balls now are on Heathen's side. And looks like
it's now 1v1.
Yeah, Twerden was going for the catch. It hit his hand. It popped up. He was going for it. But unfortunately, he missed. But Carrier does get the shot on Lins. He went down, skimmed him on his back. So that's going to be the first point on the board now for Dreadnought, the free agent team.
Lins really held his own, though, going 5 against 1 and managing to whittle it down to 1v1. That's impressive.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like he's going to be sitting off this round because he's probably going to need a break. All right, so score is tied 1-1 now.
Yeah, that was definitely a long round, and being, 1 player left on your side, you're definitely definitely having to do a lot, so I can understand wanting to be the player off for this round.
Kasparek hits Gordon off right off that opening rush, gets him in the feet, a little bit too slow there, and then Ben gets it out.
Bolton made a catch from someone.
Thank you. 4 balls now for Heathens. And Jordan going out. Another player eliminated was on the Dreadnought side was Ben. He is a league veteran. Everyone knows Ben. All right, so majority of the players, 3 balls now. Heathens sending 1 over right through the center. Sabarin manages to dodge that. Carrier sending 1 over. He had 2 balls in hand. That's going to be majority now for Heathens. Heathens going right down the middle, aiming for Sabarin again. Manages to get low and dodge. So it's just the wings now on the side of Heathens with the balls. So when you have more players on the court like that and they're bunched up, it's a little bit easier to get hit out because there's not a lot of room for maneuvering, which is why it's easier for certain players to whittle down the other team. So we just saw a player from Heathens get eliminated. Carrier managing to stay in, jumping with a dodge off to the side. Kasparek managing to block the shot from Carrier. So it's just Vivas and Carrier left now for the Dreadnought side. Throwing right at the middle, taking out Casper. Vivas giving his second ball away, getting hit out as he goes for Linz when Linz rushes the center line on Vivas. Pushes Carrier left in again. I feel like that's going to be a recurring theme for him. He was eliminated. That's going to be the second point now for Heathens with 2 minutes left on the clock in the first half of these elimination rounds. And they are off again. Gordon getting hit off of the opening rush again. He is not having much luck.
It might just be too early in the morning.
It's definitely early. So it looks like Heathens again. Dreadnought again this is their first time actually playing together as a team. This is the free agent team, so these are people that have come together because they weren't able to get a team. Every other team except for Dark Horse is the same team that we saw in 2022. So Dreadnought and Dark Horse are the two newest teams. We are missing Vengeance this year. Vengeance taking the third place last year at the Manitoba qualifiers, which was quite the upset against Retro. All right, so 4 balls now for Dreadnought. Dreadnought sending 2 over to the center.
I don't know his name yet, but in the rainbow hat, he made a nice catch just a minute ago.
That was Drew Register.
Number 11 making a good jump, but then getting hit with the other ball.
Mm-hmm. Ben with 1 ball, taking out Austin Coombs. 4 balls now for Heathens against the 3 players on the side of Dreadnought. Ben being the prime target for that one. Casper getting a catch. Ben being eliminated. It looks like it's going to go into... Looks like they're going to switch sides or go into sudden death. I'm not too sure. Sudden death it is. Elimination, sorry. End of the round elimination. So 3 balls for Vivas and 3 balls for Heathens to get distributed on each side.
So how does that differ from the sudden death?
So for the elimination, because we're moving away from the term sudden death, I just forgot that.
Okay.
So Mitch might give me heck for that later. So in the elimination, there is no timer. And the only difference is you cannot block with a ball in the elimination. Catches do revive players, however, but you cannot block with a ball. In regular game, in regulation play, if you're holding a ball, you can block with it.
So it's the same rules as the previous term. It's just being called something else now, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Death is a little bit of a... It's just one of those terms where it's like, you gotta call it that. It's different everywhere, though. Like, it's elimination. I know, like, in Manitoba, we call them guards most of the time. In other places, they are the corners, they are the wings. So a lot of different terminology. Like, this was a very Manitoba-specific one, but the ball retrievers are called shaggers. But for the UK audience, that might be a little bit risque.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of jokes that can be made with that term.
Oh, and I've thought of a few of them. I've just never said them on stream, though. So both teams are just going to have a little chat right now, and they're going to, I guess, figure out some strategy. I don't think Heathens really has much strategy to worry about. It's more so Dreadnought, again, because they are a free agent team. Never played together before, so they kind of got to figure out their footing. So what do you think that they might be changing? What do you think Dreadnought might be changing up in this second half?
hard to say for me as I'm still learning the ins and outs of the sport. I feel like they might try and eliminate some players on the opening rush so that they have more on their side. Other than that, I mean, who knows, really?
Yeah, I don't think Gordon, it looks like he's going to be running for the balls again. You'd think they would change him out because he's been picked off every single time by the runners for the other side. But it looks like they are guarding Gordon now when he does come up for the ball, so he has to make sure that he sends those balls back to his team. Burden now on the side of Heathens. Heathens with 4 balls in hand, going for the throw. Going right in between Sabarin and Gordon. 4 balls now for Dreadnought. The Dreadnought coming up to the line. Managing to block both of those shots. Taking out Ben in the feet, so Ben is eliminated for Dreadnought. Gordon managing to stay in, kind of does a twirl off of that throw. 4 balls now for Dreadnought. No shots made. Or no hits made, I should say. Treebeard being taken out in the knees. Heathens with Burden to throw now, coming up to the line. Taking a shot on Gordon, missing. So it's going to be 4 balls now for Heathens. Dreadnought. 4 players left on the Dreadnought side. Taking out Kasperick right in the chest. I believe that was a shot from Tuerden. So Dreadnought now with Burden to throw again. Pay no mind to the giant buzzer. I'm not sure who has control of that button, but they've been enjoying it all day.
That's for sure.
All right, so 4 balls now for the side of Dreadnought again. Dreadnought managing to keep control of the ball, so doing a really good job of that ball control considering they haven't played together. So see a lot of communication happening last minute. Looks like Dustin Colbert being eliminated. That's going to take Heathens down to 3 players. All the players managing to stay in, sending 2 balls over, so that's going to give Dreadnought now the majority of the balls. Dreadnought having 4 players on the court right now, so as long as they have 3 balls in hand, they will have Burden to throw. But Heathens managing to hold on to at least 3 balls, so each player has a ball in hand. So it looks like it's going to be a 1-1 exchange for a little bit until someone is eliminated. And that is going to be Pichet. And that is Brent Pichet, the captain, that was eliminated. So it is just Holzer and Coombs left on the side of Heathens. But it looks like Gordon was eliminated for Dreadnought, so down to 3 players for Dreadnought. Going right through the center of a shot from Drew Register. Mark Holzer, 2 balls in hand now. Vivas with a block, managing to get hit out. Looks like there was a little bit of a confusion. Both referees saying that Vivas did block the ball. Vivas does stay in, and Coombs gets eliminated. That's going to be another point now for the Dreadnought team. That is their 2nd point of the game. Heathens still with a one point lead, though. So remember that only team captains can actually come up to the refs and complain, though. And Austin Coombs is not a team captain. That's a fun whistle.
Looks like both teams are still intact after the opening rush.
Looks like the ref needs to call and make sure that someone at Treebeard needs to know he was eliminated. I don't think he felt that one, to be perfectly honest, but he does take his out. So 4 balls in hand now for Dreadnought, down to 4 players. Tourden managing to stay in. Looks like he came a little bit close to his toes, but that's going to be 4 balls now for Dreadnought. Still the full lineup for Heathens. Heathens managing to get having 4 balls in hand now. They are going to have that burden to throw. Looks like Tourden being the target on that guard side. Getting low, holding the ball up for a nice block.
Dreadnought taking out one of the Lins and Pichet as well.
Yeah.
Quick back and forth from both sides, but it doesn't look like any players were taken out.
So we still see 4 players now for the Dreadnought side. 3 balls in hand. Going for Mark Holzer, but Holzer managing to dodge both of those balls being thrown at him. That's going to give Heathens 5 balls now, so they are going to have burden to throw. And Drew Register was the target. Also Ben. That's going to take them down now to just Vivas and Sabarin.
Good dodges from both players.
That's blocked by Tourden. So it looks like Vivas was eliminated, but Tourden stays in. My apologies. Let's take a minute, throw a ball over to the other side. So Heathens with 3 players on this court, on their side of the court now. They are going to have majority. Blocked by Holzer. Coming up a little bit short on Tourden. Another shot by Sabarin going in for Holzer. Holzer in the center. He's going to be the target, I think, for both of these players on the wings. And he does get eliminated. But it looks like he had a smile on his face when it happened, so he's not too worried about it. Both of them coming up to the line now, and it looks like Tourden goes out. Lynn stays in, so does Coombs, and Sabarin gets eliminated. That's going to be 4 points now, Heathens, 2 points for Dreadnought. They're off again. It looks like changed it up a little bit on the Dreadnought side. Looks like Benjamin was taken out, but Gordon, instead of running for the balls, is in the center, so he finally gets to stay in and play for a little bit. 4 balls now for Dreadnought with burden to throw. Throwing right for the center and hitting out Kasper, but popping up and managing to be caught one-handed by Holzer. That was impressive. 5 balls now for Heathens. Getting a little bit close to that center line.
Looks like Heathens is still at full strength, and Dreadnought is down to 3 players.
4 balls now for Dreadnought. One right through the center. That's going to be put in the hands of Heathens. Heathens with burden to throw. Gordon managing to block that ball down nice and low, manages to stay in. Blocked by Coombs. Ref calling that one a clean block, and they stay in. It's going to be 4 balls now for Dreadnought. So Heathens now 4 balls again, still 3 players on the court. So Heathens does have burden when they have more balls. They managed to take out Pichet right in the knees. Gordon taking a shot nice and low and eliminating Colbert. I don't think he was expecting that one. Casper went low and dodged, went right over him into Colbert, and that's going to be Treebeard out, right in the beard.
Dreadnought down to Gordon, and I just forgot his name.
Register.
I will learn these names. By the end of the day, I'll know them.
I've just been like around the league for so long that I pretty much know everyone off by heart except for new players. So it looks like, ooh, so they missed their count. So all the balls are being thrown over. So if you didn't know, they have 10 seconds to throw. And if you do not make a throw within those 10 seconds, all of the balls are forfeited to the opposing team. So it looks like Dreadnought gets all 6 balls.
This could be good for them.
We will see what happens. They left those 2 balls in the back of the court. Catch by Coombs. Sorry.
I was about to say that one. That was a good catch.
That's what Coombs is known for. When he first made his debut on the draft scene, everyone wanted him on their team for his catching ability. Blocked by Register coming up. And going just over the head. He's the last player in for Dreadnought. We've got a 1v4 situation happening right now. Both Pichet and Holzer managing to dodge them. Coombs coming in for the shot. Just a little bit wide on Register there. Another wide shot from Linz. Pichet getting down and sliding. Great strategy by Register as well, throwing on both sides instead of just the same side. Really making Pichet work for those dodges. And Coombs goes out off of the block. Must have hit his fingers. Great honesty from Coombs. Register taking a wide shot there. Ref calling it safe. Register manages to stay in. He's going to have Burton to throw now. He's got the majority of the balls. Going a little bit wide on Holzer, but Holzer counters that, throws and takes out Register. That's going to be 50 seconds left on the clock now. Heathens leading by 2 points.
I'm really impressed with how these players, even when they're 1 versus 4 or 5, really manage to hold their own and not just getting taken out right off the hop.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like we're going to roll this into sudden death to start off the round. So the balls were distributed to each side. So again, in this elimination round, yeah, it's no block. Oof, and Pichet gets hit right in the face, which is a legal shot. It just really hurts. And Coombs getting hit out. Treebeard going wide and dodging. Jordan now with a 1 ball in hand. It looks like they have 3 balls for Dreadnought. I'm not sure if anyone was eliminated on the Heathen side. It looks like Linz was eliminated. Down to 3 players now for Heathens.
Looks like Dreadnought is still at full strength.
Gordon taking a shot, giving away one of their balls. That's going to leave Dreadnought now with just 1 ball. So Heathens does have Burden to throw, throwing at Treebeard. Taking out Jordan, taking out Gordon. Now, Gordon has a habit of giving away balls when they should really be conserving them. Giving that ball away definitely gave Heathens an advantage. Looks like Linz was taken out. Pardon me, that was Cripps.
Good dodge from number 8.
Mm-hmm. That's Stephen Chiron for Heathens. Vivas coming up, throwing. Register managing to dodge that shot, going at his feet. Chiron being taken out from across counter shot. Liz is going for the catch, not quite making it, so that's going to be the point for Dreadnought. So that's going to be end of the round, end of the match. Heathens wins it 5, Dreadnought with 2. Or, pardon me, 3 points. Yeah. So Heathens takes that one. Coming up next, we're going to see Apex versus Tempest. All right.
Or Bart. It's not here.
No, there is no Bart Dizzy for Tempest right now, but we are back. Again, Kendall Stelmack being joined by Emily Clark.
Hi, everybody.
Haven't seen Emily on the mic since Real Cup 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a while, but I'm happy to be here with everyone today.
You were very much missed.
Really looking forward to this game. Two of my favorite teams, at the risk of being biased. I love a good Apex versus Tempest game. Mm-hmm. These guys have been around for a while. These teams are solid. They've been playing together for several seasons, and we should see some really amazing play out on court here.
They're very evenly matched teams too. Like a lot of not too much switch up on the rosters. I know that Tempest has got some new players in. Apex Moto Sandoval with a catch right in the beginning of the game there.
What a way to start the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Apex looking pretty much the same as they have with their roster for quite a while. Adding Colin Bouchard this season. Mm-hmm. Bouchard, an excellent pickup by Apex. Previously a member of Zeal. And Tempest, largely the same as last year at the Real Cup, with the exception of they've added
Colin
Chartier and Nathaniel Getza.
And Bart Dizzy.
Oh, and Ditzy, okay.
Yeah, he was not on a provincial team last season. Unfortunately, he's not here today. But he is one of those players that you want to keep an eye on in future games.
Yeah, absolutely. Dizzy has a big arm, and so definitely Tempest is going to be, I would imagine Tempest will be playing a little bit more of a defensive game without Dizzy on their roster today.
Yeah, Dizzy is a very offensive player. He plays on my Tuesday team, and basically we just coast whenever he gets in a mood. He's one of those players. All right, so Apex coming up to the line now. Looks like they have Burden to throw and taking out Samson.
Still with a full complement of players here on Apex side. They have not lost anybody yet, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Of course, you've got a big advantage in numbers, but it's hard to dodge with 6 people on that court. There's not a lot of space.
Looks like a trade-off between Boudreau and Brillinger. Boudreau with a little bit of an injury on his thumb right now, so going for a catch, I'm not sure if that was the smartest move. Huge jump block by Chartier.
Boudreau's injury actually happened at a draft game, and he was doing ball retrieval. He got overly excited about ball retrieval. And
first game of the new season, too. That's a horrible thing to happen. Blocked by Bouchard.
Boudreau looking for the catch. Seems a little frustrated that he wasn't able to make it, but the important thing is that there's a lot of tournament play ahead of us, so we got to keep those injuries under control and well managed. Probably what his teammates are telling him right now. Oh my gosh! Oh, looked like what might have been a catch from Bouchard there.
Bouchard being eliminated, so we still have Chartier and Devlin left on the side of Tempest. And Devlin getting hit out right in the forehead.
Definitely another player that this season has been really interesting to watch. He has really improved vastly as an offensive player, and he's always been a really impressive defensive player.
He's a very quiet person off the court, but then once he gets on the court, he's kind of a wild card in terms of what he does, like with his strategy. But overall, he's just a good player, and it looks like that was a disarm on Chartier from Moto Sandoval there.
Yeah. Also, Chartier opted to throw his second ball, so he left himself in a vulnerable position.
Chartier took a couple of years off. Haven't really seen him on the court in a while, but it looks like he hasn't lost any of those moves. He's definitely one of the jumpier players in the league.
This should be a pretty fast rush from both the teams, so looking forward to seeing how this goes. Into the line, just a little bit.
Brillinger taking out Bailey right off of that opening rush.
And McManus got under that throw with a nice big block. They were looking for a catch, but it came off just a little bit high.
Yeah, but he manages to stay in, so Tempest still has their full line of players, whereas Apex is only down to 4 players now.
Holding himself on a fingertip hit there.
Yeah, Gatsa is one of the most honest players. If it just skims like a hair on his arm, he will call himself out.
Which is, a testament to him as a player, because he still remains one of the strongest players in the league. And so even with being as honest as he is, he still puts up amazing stats and has a great game point average. Oh, that was really nice look from Moto Sandoval there.
Yeah, that was a cross-court shot right into the knees of Brillinger. Wasn't even expecting it.
Yeah, he waited until Brillinger made his move and looked like he was about to pop up, and then took that shot. And so, what a move from Moto Sandoval. Really well timed and great court awareness.
I love those sniper shots.
They're fun to watch.
Trudeau getting it out.
They're not so fun to be on the receiving end.
No, but those are my favorite to do when I'm playing. So I can just appreciate like the sweetness of that timing.
Absolutely. And you know what? Especially for myself as a player who doesn't have maybe the speed at my throw as some other players do, those accuracy shots are really satisfying. Yeah. That is a really good block there. Look to the left to ensure that he did block and
Again, a huge shout out to the referees. I know it's like one of the most thankless jobs, but they are doing it, and and every player has been warned that treat the referees with respect or else.
We even have penalty boxes in this time around. So
yeah, I think that's a new change to the rules that was done post-Worlds. As a yellow card is a 3-minute timeout, so while your player is in timeout after getting that card, they do have to sit in the penalty box, and you have to play short.
Another big block from the Canadians. It's really looking strong out there in this game.
Almost going right into the commentary table, so both had to make sure, like, is it going to hit a monitor? No, okay, we're good. Back to the game. 4 balls now for Tempest. Tempest calling their shot with Chartier in the middle.
Landing that shot on Sang, again, that was hard to tell from this angle, but another very honest player. And we're looking at 1-1 between Tempest and Apex. So as Kendall mentioned, evenly matched teams, and this is going to be a really interesting game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a 1-1 trade-off regardless of which team it's going to be. This is going to be a close one, and I don't think we'll have any decision made on a winner until that final elimination match.
We do have 3 teams for the men's that will qualify for our nationals. Sang looking for a catch there, not quite able to make it. Apex looking 2 off that rush. And Apex had an amazing tournament last year. Coming out of, not nowhere, but, surprising themselves, and I think a lot of people with finding that qualifying spot for last time around. So really, really awesome tournament last time for Apex. And they're going to be looking for a repeat performance, looking for that 3rd spot in the men's division, or any one of those 3 spots.
Yeah, I know that Nathaniel Gatz on Tempest, he was actually on Retro last year, and there was a huge upset because Team Vengeance actually took that number 3 spot for Manitoba. No one was expecting Vengeance to do it. Not saying any of the Vengeance players aren't talented, but everyone pretty much had their bet set on Retro. So Retro disbanded as a team. So it's interesting to see how that's changed some of the lineups this year going into the Riel Cup for 2023.
Absolutely. Apex, Tempest are both going to be looking for a spot at Nationals. And both of them really have every chance in the world of getting it. So it's going to be interesting to see where these top 3 spots land in this tournament. Couple big hits there. We saw McKay going for a block, but not quite clean. And there we go. Bradford looking for a block and also not making it cleanly there.
That was a hit from Samson. So it's just Samson and Chartier left now for the Tempest side.
Chartier just showing some amazing movement in this game so far.
That is a hit. The referee is calling it. So thank you, referee. So it's Williams out. So it is just Tameta left.
Well, I'm thinking that might have been a catch, I think, is what a little bit of a head shake on the side. And from this angle, I believe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tameta is famously an extremely difficult player to hit.
Chartier just going up and pancaking right down to the ground, but I think he didn't realize how hard the floor was. He needed a second to catch his breath because he knocked it all out of him.
And right now we have 3 players left on the court who are exceptionally good defensive players.
Oh, yeah.
They are incredibly hard to hit. Tameta, I've seen go 1v6 and win many, many times just because it's so hard to hit him.
Tameta is notorious for what me and Mitch like to call his froggy style.
Froggy style, I love it. But you know what? Chartier has a similar dodge style to Meta, so let's see what happens here.
It's like it's a 1v1. Ooh.
And Chartier just could not let that ball go. Thinking maybe he would have the speed to make the hit, and he just couldn't quite do it.
Yeah, throw from the knees, but unfortunately, Temeta was a little bit too fast and right in the cross on Chartier. Needed a minute for that one, but a lot of agility from players on both teams. Like,
Yeah,
Chartier is almost one of the most agile players in the league. We really don't see moves like that other than
Temeta, really.
Temeta. I want to say Denim Dubuque from Zeal.
And you know what? Well, on Zeal, oh my gosh, I get it. Colton Bertrand.
Yes.
Another very, very dodgy player.
Yes.
And you know, Temeta, while we're in this timeout, Temeta's wife, actually, Laura, is another player who I've very often seen go 1v6 and win. So the two of them, whatever they're doing, like talking about in their marriage, you know, how whatever they're doing to hype each other up as players, they're really very survivable. And we'll see Laura play next week, actually, on Rally. So
yes, it's the women's tournament next weekend. So unfortunately, it's just the boys today.
Mucho looking for a catch.
He really needs to watch that thumb, though. I worry about it, and I just want to make sure he can last the day.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying for a spot to go to nationals. You want to make sure that you're healed up for it. Looks like Berlinger getting hit out, going right in the hand as he was winding up for a shot almost.
A nice early counter, pre-counter there from Temeta, I think was, and it was very effective.
Yeah, that's going to eliminate Trudeau, so it's just 4 players left now for Tempest. And that's going to take out Ferreira. Almost didn't recognize him without the long hair.
Yes, Ferreira had shaved his head for cancer, I think it was.
Yes, it was for charity.
Oh, Moro Sandoval again with that sniper shot cross court.
Yeah, taking out Devlin, but unfortunately Devlin does get taken out, or Moto Sandoval getting taken out in the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Gatsa was not going to settle for the audacity to throw across him as a guard, making sure that while Moto Sandoval did land that shot, that he was going to pay for it right after.
Yeah, he had his number for that counter.
Going right to the count, but Chartier getting a little bit of retribution there on Temeta, taking the shot and landing it. Apex coming up now. 4 balls.
Blocked by Bouchard. A little bit low and up, so Gatsa manages to dodge it. Looks like Bouchard took a little bit of a long shot there, but it came a little bit too short, so Gatsa not getting hit at all. That is going to give 4 balls now for Tempest. Tempest coming up to the line to throw.
Bailey taking that shot as soon as the release happens.
Yeah, it looks like Bouchard was the target for that one, so they weren't expecting Bailey to counter, so it's just 3 players left now for Tempest.
Bailey doing his best to get out of the way, but jumped a little bit early. A nice shot from Gatsa on the landing there.
Yeah, it did manage. Bouchard does manage to get a counter after those shots on Bailey, though, so that does eliminate Chartier. So it is just Samson and Gatsa left. Gatsa with a block. Nice wide, hard throw from Samson there. Less than 30 seconds left in the first half.
Bouchard is going to be looking to run the clock down, or at least I would if I was him. Stay alive, stay out of the way. And Bouchard calling himself hits.
Yeah, referee Rodlin confirming that.
Bringing the score at 2-2.
So we're going to start this round in elimination. So the balls are going to be distributed evenly between the teams, and there is going to be no blocking. Catches will count for re-entry.
Sudden death. Sudden death will be a very different game for these two teams. They are both block-heavy teams.
Yes.
So, so they're going to have to use their dodging skills here to stay out of the way. And we're going to be relying on some of the heavy hitters, I would imagine, from both teams for some offense. So looking to Ferreira, Williams, and I guess what do we got there? Bradford. So be landing with shots. And on Tempest, they'll be looking to Trudeau, who just got hit, Gatsa, and McManus.
I love that both Samson and Devlin, actually, The only person who's wearing shorts on that team is McManus right now. Everyone else is just straight up wearing tights.
Yeah, they're just butts out for the win today.
All good. You know what? Clothing hits count. So
Absolutely.
Like,
it's a thing in men's dodgeball for sure that, you know, like larger shorts definitely give you more chance to get hit. And so Tempest clearly leaning into
yeah, absolutely. Like, screw it in terms
minimizing.
of self-consciousness or whatever. Like, no, we're just wearing tights.
Yeah, minimizing their hit chances and looking good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so both Gatsa and Ferra actually did a draft tournament for Shave Their Hair. They donated it, I believe, to cancer research.
Sang with the pre-counter there, but it didn't quite land. Didn't slow down Tempest either. They still took their play shots. I would imagine we're going to see Ferreira with the throw here.
Yeah, Ferra tends to throw.
Oh, I'm totally wrong.
It's nice to see some restraint on Ferreira. I know that he usually has some pretty greasy fingers, and he tends to give the ball away sometimes. But it's nice to see that, you know, he's taking a little bit more of a calculated risk when it comes to coming up to the line. He's faking a lot more. He's definitely trying to intimidate, and he manages to keep the ball in hand.
Ferreira has absolutely. You know what I've noticed? Ferreira's play style really changing in the last few seasons. I play on a competitive platinum co-ed with Ferreira, and his ball control has just blown my mind recently. So he's displaying that again here. He's really matured as a player.
Yes.
And
I was just going to say he's grown a lot since Nationals.
He's such a strong player, such a benefit to his team.
Mm-hmm. So 4 balls now for Tempest.
Ferrer dropping the ball, looking for a catch, and getting under that.
Ferrer is a really good catcher as well, so I think that's a good strategic move for him. And he does it.
There you go.
That's Sang getting hit out.
Reviving Bradford.
You can hear Bailey screaming at him, come back, come back.
Yeah. Jeff Sampson now getting out of the way.
Yeah. It's when it's just one player left, when you've got like that 3v1 or 4v1 kind of situation with players like Sampson, it's almost like the shooting gallery at a fair where he just goes back and forth.
And that was a high throw from Sampson there. I'm not sure if he was looking for a drop shot or if he was trying to avoid putting it into play. You do have to put your ball in play when you throw it across the line. So ref's discretion, of course, but you can't just throw super high and hope that no one can get to it.
I think it was he was holding a lot of balls. Like he's holding 3 balls at a time. So
looking for a drop shot. I think.
Yeah, so I think that does kind of affect his stability. Takes out Bradford.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. So that is.
So that with a drop shot on Bradford there, that was well placed. Beautiful closing out the round by Sampson. You know, closing out rounds is a skill that a lot of young teams don't have.
Yeah, especially on that, especially on the end of round elimination like that just happened.
Yeah.
Like the no blocking round, but he did get a warning from the referee after spiking the ball.
Oh, okay. After spiking the ball,
yeah.
No celebration, Sampson.
You can celebrate, but
just got to do it in a positive way.
Yeah.
Maybe
just not with the potential to damage the equipment, because we do have to use these balls all day. This is only the 3rd game that we're seeing on the stream. We have 8 teams playing today, so this we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 more games of elimination rounds, and then we have the 2 playoff rounds, and then the gold medal match, which is all going to be on the stream today.
What's Kendall saying there is there's a lot more of us to come.
Yeah. Strap yourselves in, folks. Get used to it.
You know, this is exactly what we expected in this game. Like, these teams playing a very similar play style. They have a similar number of what I would consider extremely strong offensive and extremely strong defensive players on both sides, and they're playing them in a very similar way. So nothing surprising coming out of this game so far. It's everything we hoped for in terms of high pay, like fast pace, high energy, and of course coming into the half in like neck and neck. So I can't even call it. I don't know what's going to happen.
honestly can't pick a winner for this one. Again, like when you look at the rosters of these teams too, the reason I think why they're very evenly matched is a lot of these players, they haven't changed up their rosters too often, and a lot of them are veteran players. Like a lot of them haven't played.
Yes, that's what I was getting at with the closing out the round.
Yeah.
It doesn't like that comes with experience, not just like talent. And so these teams are really showing their experience in the way that they're able to slow down their play, make conscious decisions, not react with an emotional, an emotional reaction to some of these plays. So really good.
Ooh, that looks
False start. Yeah,
that was a false start onto Meta. I think he kind of went for it and then he tripped, so he just kind of bounced off at the wrong second there. But good eye on the referees. And they are off.
Double shots from Tempest. McManus not landing, and then Trudeau landing a shot, I think.
Yeah, Boudreau was eliminated off of that opening rush. It's going to be 4 balls now for Apex. And Gatson eliminated. Neither of those ones connected. Trudeau almost getting a catch there, but not quite.
Yeah.
That's going to leave burden on now.
And Trudeau, well known to be a catcher, so
yes.
Definitely that was a straight ahead shot. There wasn't a lot of movement on it, so I totally understand why Trudeau went for that catch. But you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, I think this is going to be like Apex versus Tempest. Like, these are the two teams where it's like, if we need to try something, if we need to come up with a new strategy, if we need to, change it up, it's going to be against Apex because Apex is able to read them so well. Yeah. And it's exactly the same for Apex. It's like, if we need to try something different, if we need to work on some new moves, it's going to be Tempest that we're going to try them on because of how evenly matched these teams are. But again, evenly matched, but very talented.
Yeah. McManus there taking a chance of his life and reaching for a ball, but getting it, and no consequences for that. So Williams was looking at a block, but wasn't quite able to make it, and that hit did make contact. So down to 3 now on Apex. McManus playing a really aggressive game here.
McManus going for that ball again. It manages to stay just inside the court. So fortunately, the ball retriever could not get it for the Apex side.
Moto Sandoval getting his little toes out of the way, doing a good job there. Really a fun player to watch. He has great movement, but it's also, dramatic is the wrong word, but like big. Like his movements are really interesting to watch, and he does a really good job.
Absolutely. It's going to be Tempest now with that burden to throw coming up to the line. And looks like Ferrer was the target, but manages to dodge them, going a little bit high up.
Devin getting out of the way of that one with his legs behind him, looking good. Sorry, Devin McManus.
Yeah,
sorry.
McManus. That's okay. Devin McManus, full name.
Samedi again.
Sartre catching in the legs.
I was so impressed with Samedi's movement there, coming up to the line, getting out of the way, taking the shot. He did everything right, but Chartier just managed to grab that one in. What a play.
Yeah, Chartier, he will do catches like that, and it just takes you a second to realize, like, wait, he caught that in his legs before it got into his hands. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
He's one of those players where you can anticipate what he's going to do, but then he'll change it up right at the last second. And
his moves, yeah. Moto Sandoval there, with a big block to the outside of his body. So
yeah.
He not only got his body out of the way, but also managed to block it with his.
Ferrer managing to stay in, but Trudeau going out, so it's just going to be 3 players left now for Tempest. That's another thing with these two teams is I constantly mix up their names.
Yeah, absolutely. Apex and Tempest.
Apex is on the right, Tempest is on the left.
Drop shot there. Where did it come from, Devlin?
Yeah, and it looks like, that is an elimination on Ferrer, so it's just Moto Sandoval left.
Nice.
Absolutely well done. Hitting the ground and going up, so Moto Sandoval stays in, going for Devlin. Samson going for that big wide shot again on Moto Sandoval, but he manages to stay in. Samson always he's very much a risk taker when it comes to his shots coming up to the line. Big wind up on his shots too, so he's very easy to counter sometimes if you notice it correctly. But that will be something for the players to pick up.
Yeah, he telegraphs his shots.
Yes.
But they are accurate, they're quick, and he's hard to hit. Even if you see a shot coming, it's hard to get him on your shot. He's got such good movement.
Oh yeah.
And he's likely to catch as well. So
I think the reason why he takes such a big windup is because he doesn't necessarily plant his foot on the throw. And that looks like that was a shot from Samson on Moto Sandoval there. Speaking of the way Samson throws, again, with that windup, he doesn't necessarily plant the foot as much. So he's very quick to dodge on that counter.
Absolutely.
Which is, I think, why he takes such a wide throw. You see a lot of players, they will plant their foot and they won't take as big of a windup.
And they're, again, Tempest a little faster.
Looks like it's a 2-point lead now for Tempest. They've been playing a very strong game against Apex. But I think Apex is starting to start coming in really heavy on those counters because they want to start closing the gap. They've only got 7 minutes left in the second half of this elimination match. Catch by Brillinger. Absolutely well done.
Right in his neck almost. Yeah. Caught it with his face.
I mean, catch is a catch.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there's going to be a lot of straight through shots in the middle from the side of Apex now. They're going to play it very safe with these next couple exchanges. And that takes out Ferreira. But I think Apex is probably going to throw straight through the middles now. They're probably going to just go right down their lane. And they're not going to, I don't think they're going to try for too many counters at the moment because they want to make sure that they just get those eliminations.
Yeah, you know, they only have 6 minutes left.
Yeah, got to close the gap.
They've got, they're up by 2. They've got to just really do everything they can to take that number down. Oh no, thought he was safe there.
Yeah.
I think he watched that, he calculated where the shot was going to land, and it just had a little bit of movement on the end, which is such a frustrating feeling as a player.
I think he saw it coming. He looked down, he saw it hit him, and then he goes, "Oh, wait a second, that hit me."
Yeah. So frustrating when you think you know where the ball's going, and then you've moved appropriately.
So 4 balls now for Tempest. So Tempest coming up to the line with Burden to throw. And Bradford managed to dodge both those shots. He stays in. And it looks like 4 players left now for Tempest.
Moto Sandoval going for a catch, but not quite able to make it.
McManus is a powerhouse of an arm, so definitely got to watch out for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Apex knows it. They're looking at McManus now for their shots, and I'm guessing the Tempest is going to be looking at Bradford. They're looking to eliminate those big offensive threats.
Yeah.
Sarche looking for the catch, but not able to.
Sarche walking off. Discussing who their target is. Apex coming up to the line, taking their throw. But no connections made. That's going to be 4 balls now for Tempest with 3 players left on their side. Going for Sang. Ignore the buzzer.
4 minutes, 1.5 minutes left in this one.
I don't know who has the buzzer button. I think they're just having fun with it.
Samson trying to get above that ball, but it put him right on the toes.
Yeah.
Sidearm shot there from McManus. He was looking for Bouchard, and then Bouchard coming right back at him. Bouchard is a pretty serious toss.
Yes.
He's a good offensive player.
Speaking of serious toss, that was one straight at McManus, but Bailey coming in for the counter and taking McManus out. Again, everyone's saying just play on, just play on. So we see now Apex coming up to the line. Billinger, only one left on the court now, so he's got a 1v3 situation going on. He does have the majority of the ball, so he will have that burden.
Nice block from Bellinger. Showing good patience. He can get the ball from Sang. Oh, not quite able to get under the block.
Yeah, so that's going to close that gap now. Apex is going to get that third point. So there's only a 1 point differential again. So like I said, very evenly matched.
3 minutes left to play.
I think we're going to see another point on the board from Apex. Like, I'm sticking with my original guess that we're not going to see a winner until
Till the very end.
Until that very end, until that elimination, end of round elimination match.
They're off once again. Oh no, this one Apex is a little bit faster, I think. Ferreira looking for a shot off of that. Off of the rush, but not able to get there. Samson coming up. Nice big fake. Reining it back.
Bird now on Tempest, coming up to the line, take their shots. And that's one of the things with these teams is they don't really discuss a lot of strategy. They just automatically know who they need to be throwing at.
Yep. Yeah, we haven't seen much of huddle from Tempest.
No.
They have a plan. They're going with it.
I think I've only seen them huddle once, and that was during the first half.
Yeah, Richard looking for a cross-court shot there in Gatza.
He's definitely staring down Brillinger, though.
Some big threats left on both sides here. Woodrow coming up with the ball. Same with Richard. Moto Sandoval releasing with Woodrow at Gatza.
Yeah, Gatsa managing to dodge both of them. It's interesting the way Gatsa dodges them sometimes because he likes to look around, he puts both his arms up, and it's like, it wasn't me. Safe.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever he's doing, he's been doing it well for a lot of years. So
Oh, yeah.
obviously it's working for him.
And if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
My favorite joke from Beauty and the Beast, if it's not Baroque, don't fix it. That was really niche and really nerdy, so if anyone at home understood that one, you get extra dodgeball points today. That takes out Bouchard in the knees.
The Apex now has 50 seconds to close the gap here. Taking
Gatsa.
out Gatsa, yeah.
Apex playing it very smart, very safe. Burden to throw still with Apex. They're managing that ball control very well because they know that they need those points. So they are trying to not send as many balls over. They're trying to keep as many in hand as possible.
At the same time, they only have 30 seconds. They're going to have to make something happen. The ball's connecting in the air. And when those balls connect in the air, it's a dead ball. So
Yeah. So we'll see that no blocking round coming up very shortly.
Little Bradford getting right up there looking for a ball. Boudreau taking a shot at McManus. Oh, going for the catch and not quite able to make it.
So Boudreau is out, and Bradford manages to stay in. Oh, he takes out on the edge. Takes out Brillinger right in the nose.
Bellinger thought that he was that Bradford was dead, and I thought I saw a hit on Bradford as well. But
Yeah, no, he stays
hard
in.
to say from this angle. I thought maybe it hits him right on the butt. But
Yeah,
it's
just-
hard to say.
But Bradford gets him out right in the toe. So this is the no blocking elimination round.
No blocking rounds. And again with a block heavy team on both sides. Ferreira getting out of the way, looking at that lateral movement. Quick feet from Ferreira. Moto Sandoval connecting with McManus and almost having a double hit off of McManus onto Chartier.
Yeah, Devlin going straight up into the air to dodge that throw. Ooh,
Bradford's getting that
there's
out
that hit on Bradford.
Yes, he does. Court awareness instead of Moto Sandoval.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than a line out.
Oh, especially during the no blocking.
Double throw on Devlin, but not quite able to make that contact.
Still a 2v3 situation right now. And that takes out for...
Moto Sandoval looking for Samson there, I think.
So we'll see what Moto Sandoval can do. It would be smart if he should try and go for a catch, but I can see him also not going for a catch just to play it safe as well.
You know, if he can go down a couple of them, like get a couple of the Tempest players out here, then just staying alive is going to make all the difference.
Absolutely.
And the best way to stay alive is just to get the heck out of the way, which is what Moto Sandoval's doing here.
Yeah, big jump to the side, arms out in the air. Going for Charche side. Shark back in. That's going to give them 4 balls. Apex now, burden to throw.
Shard on Charche and Kendall hit the predictions this game. Holy.
Finally got one right.
4-4. Just as we expected, this game is going to come right down to the wire.
Yeah, so it's going to be, I believe, regulation play.
Yeah, 1 round of regulation play. 4 minutes, right?
I'm not sure if we're going to do a full 4 minutes. It's going to depend on how much time we have because we do have to keep things going because we do have some other matches coming up. I'm not sure how much of a time gap we have or if we're running over like the Oscars normally does. But it usually goes 4 minutes of regulation play, and then it goes into no blocking.
That's right. But in this case, it might just be...
No blocking.
No blocking? Yeah? I actually don't know what the rules are in this tournament.
The WDBF rules state that it's regulation play, then it goes into no blocking at the end of the
tournament.
For this, I think it's going to be... There we go.
Quick facts sheet. Oh, it is no blocking. So it's a 1 round of no blocking. Oh, very exciting.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's going to be a no blocking round to start. So it's going to be no regulation play. We're just going to go straight into that no blocking elimination.
Very exciting.
Yeah. So they're going to start with balls in hand.
And what are we looking at here? Balls with Moto Sandoval, Tomato, and Bouchard.
Against Trudeau, Gatza, and Berlinger.
Gatza.
Trudeau managing to dodge that shot. That's going to get burdened out of Tempest.
Tempest looking, okay, we got 5 balls with Tempest. Tomato taking a shot.
Tomato does an exchange with Devlin.
You know, not a bad little move there. Right up front, big exchange. As long as you make a shot, which Tomato did. So good for him. All right, up we go with Williams. Looking for the shot and getting out of the way of the return.
Trudeau goes out.
Bradford scooping up that ball.
So we got more players now on the side of Apex. So this might be Apex's round. Going for McManus. McManus gets eliminated. Not a block, but he was trying to hide the ball, but he ends up getting hit in the arm instead. So it's just Charche and Berlinger left. Again, 2 of the stronger players.
Oh, ball's over. Ooh. Wow, so they waited too long down to the end of the count, and it's ball's over, which means now Tempest has no option but just to get the heck out of the way. Although, you know what?
They could get a catch.
In no blocking, it really doesn't make all that much of a difference because your ball isn't helping you anyway.
Ooh, and that's Berlinger down.
It certainly gave Apex more opportunity to... Whoa! That was some amazing movement. Oh, and...
But he
on
was
the line.
lined out.
Yeah, lined out.
That is going to be an overtime win for Apex.
And Captain gets, again, with the honesty, making that call to end the round. Holy moly. Oh, not Captain Gatza. Sorry, Captain Trudeau.
No, you're used to seeing Gatza as a captain.
Yeah, it's true. Gatza making the call to end the round, and what a good game. So glad we got to see that. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back with Toilers versus Dreadnought.
Ooh.
For following that, we'll have some Dark Horse and Heathens actions for you. So don't go anywhere. We've got a full day of dodgeball ahead of us.
Awesome. Can't wait.
men's Real Cup tournament, our provincial qualifiers here in, national qualifiers here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'm Emily Clark.
I'm Kendall Stelmack, and we are watching Toilers take on the free agent team, Dreadnought.
So Toilers are a team that has been playing together for quite a while. We've got, I believe, Captain Don McKenzie.
Yeah, Don McKenzie being a new addition. He was previously on the Vengeance team.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see some longtime players, including Matt Kluchevsky, who is known around here as the grandfather, the godfather of dodgeball.
Yeah, the Dodgefather.
The Dodgefather. Put together one of the first ever dodgeball teams in Winnipeg.
First ever president of Dodgeball Manitoba.
President of Dodgeball Manitoba, which incidentally is a position now held by our captain here, Don McKenzie. So.
Yeah, and looks like Treebeard stays in. Brian Gordon still on the wing there. They got 4 balls.
Brian Gordon, another player who's been around for quite a while. And
Yes.
Brian Gordon is well known in the dodgeball community here for identifying and nurturing new talent.
Yes.
So while Brian Gordon is an extremely talented player and could very easily have a team that he plays on a regular part of their roster, he tends to captain the new teams and the free agent teams with an eye to trying to involve more people in dodgeball. So he's really a wonderful guy to have around in the dodgeball community.
And Treebeard's just known for his many personas in the community.
And his big throws.
Yes.
Absolutely. And some trick shots every once in a while. So
That's the most polite way people have referred to it, is his trick shots.
I think it's a trick shot. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it doesn't work.
I'm not saying you don't like it. I'm just saying that's the most
No, I
polite
mean,
thing I've...
some people don't like it. It's Kyle Carrier. So Carrier, aka Treebeard, for those of you who are not sure who we're talking about here. All right.
Roland. He's wearing a Roland.
Who's Roland?
Remember when he was Roland Wilkinson?
Oh my god, yeah.
Idiot.
Whoops.
Anyways, so we're gonna see now Toilers still with their full line. It's just Carrier and Gordon taking on some of the former Vengeance players. Actually, literally all 3 players that just came up to the line.
Former
it was
Vengeance.
Costas McEwen and Porcells, all former Vengeance players.
Somebody may recognize McEwen. McEwen was on Vengeance previously.
Yes.
When the Nationals were in Winnipeg, the Dodgeball Nationals, McEwen was a golden boy.
Yes.
So you may have seen Eric McEwen around the block a few times. And if you look to our ball retrievers, you'll also see Megan McEwen in the red shirt there, keeping it in the family with a brother and sister duo. And Megan McEwen will be taking the court on next Saturday.
Captaining the Valkyries.
Captaining the Valkyries women's team, yeah.
Yeah. So
Pretty quick
a
point
lot
there
of
for
families
Toilers.
you see in dodgeball.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be the first point on the board now for the Toilers. They finally managed to take out those 2 players.
We'll see a lot in this game, I think. The Toilers team is going to have a lot more cohesiveness, probably, than
Yes.
Dreadnought. And that's not a commentary on Dreadnought's skill set, more so just the fact that they've
haven't
never really
played
played together.
They haven't. None of them have. They've all played together with each other at some point, but none of them have ever played together as a team until today.
Yeah, but all of them have a pretty impressive skill set independently as players. And so as they progress throughout the tournament, you'll see more and more cohesiveness. However, Toilers, of course, they play together, they practice together. So they should look a little bit more cohesive as a team. Dreadnoughts boasting quite a few return players. So players that you've probably seen before if you've watched Dodgeball Manitoba.
Drew Register getting disarmed.
Registered last game that Dreadnought played on this court, had a really great game. He was the anchor for his team a bunch of rounds and really made a huge difference.
It's a good block by Jordan there. I haven't really seen him around, so I'm not sure what his abilities are as a player yet. But it looks like he's got an arm sleeve on. He's all taped up, so he's been playing hard today, that's for sure.
Absolutely. A lot of times when we see dodgeball players who are relatively new to the sport, they come from a similar sport background, usually baseball, sometimes volleyball, sometimes handball, sometimes water polo.
Going for a catch and not quite making it. I think I'm not sure where we get the majority of our players from. Like, I definitely know softball is where you get a lot of dodgeball players from. I think we've only had one football player on record.
A lot of the new men's players come from baseball, I think.
Yeah.
Groening getting hit out there. Now, Groening, you may remember, again, previously as a Pirate Ben.
Yeah, that's my first thought was going to call him Captain Ben on the stream.
Yeah. So Pirate Ben has also been around Dodgeball Manitoba for quite a while. Very well-known player.
So it looks like it is just Kyle Saber in left, and he gets hit out on the ankle, and that is going to be the second point now on the board for the Toilers. Again, these teams have been practicing a little bit longer. This is the first time Dreadnought has played together, so they're still kind of understanding each other's styles. I know they haven't necessarily won a game yet, but they have been doing pretty good at keeping the point differentials relatively close.
Absolutely. You know what? Speaking of dodgeball and the family, here on Toilers side weighing, I believe it's 51. You will see another Schmidt brother, Connor Schmidt. So if you've been watching this stream for a while, and if you stick around for the next game, which will be Dark Horse versus Heathens, on Dark Horse you'll see the other two Schmidt brothers, Josh and Ben Schmidt.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of Schmidts.
So Connor Schmidt there, rounding out the three Schmidt brothers on court today here in Manitoba. Kuchevsky. He was up really high there. They all were with that offensive play.
Yeah, counter got him though.
Yeah.
Trying to let Ben know there's a ball on the court for them.
Forsai taking a hit there, and same with Tomchuk. You know what? There we're still seeing 5 players on Dreadnought. Dreadnought having a really nice point here.
The Dreadnought really coming together for this one.
Gordon really trying to make some waves there with McEwen, but McEwen really hard to hit. He's a great blocker. He's a great dodger.
And that's Saberin Torden getting hit out. So it looks like it is just 4 players now left for the Dreadnought side, down to 3 players for the Toilers.
Big fake from Register. The idea behind those big fakes, you want to protect the people on your team that are throwing, but you also want to draw the attention from those targets. So they don't know where the ball is coming from. And if you do your job really well up there at the line, you're just as valuable as the person who's actually throwing, because you're basically setting them up for an assist. You want to make sure that the person that is the target is looking at you and expecting the throws coming from you as opposed to looking at someone else. And so a really solid teammate will give you that really great setup.
Toilers coming up to the line. It looks like Tomchuk taking out Gordon, and then Locke from Carrier.
Yeah, Costas was looking for Carrier.
Costas was going for him.
It was a little bit of a dangerous block from Carrier. He brought his ball in really close.
I almost thought it was a hit, to be perfectly honest.
And the closer your ball is to your body when you're blocking it, of course, the less distance or the less surface area of your body you can cover, but also the higher risk you're at for blocking the ball into yourself.
So Schmidt getting a block, but it was going right up into the air, not managing to catch it, but he didn't try and go for a catch either and ended up getting a fumble, but the ball still stays on their side, gives them majority, and that takes out Saberin.
Good thing he got out of the way of it, though. I mean, he went straight up, and he could have gone for a catch. And if it hit him on the head, he would have been out.
Ooh, yeah, that would have sucked. I mean, if it hit him on the head and then hit the floor, he would have been out, but there still might have been a chance it bounced off his head and he could have got a catch.
That's true, yeah. You know, that was a really nice point for Dreadnought. They didn't take the round, but they really brought Toilers right down to their bottom numbers there. So really, really good. And a stronger showing than the first 2 points. So I can expect that we'll continue to see that improve as we go.
Captain Ben going out right off that opening rush, getting hit out in the legs. And it looks like Brian Gordon stays in. He's normally been getting hit out off of that opening rush, but now the Captain Ben's here. He seems to be the prime target on the rush.
Tashino with a catch. Oh, nope. A catch and then a hit?
No, it looks like...
Catch was good, and then a hit.
Okay. I thought it was just a hit, but yeah, that makes sense. Gordon going for that cross-court shot all the way from the back end of the court. He does get a good swerve on the ball, but
He does. He's got a good sidearm throw and a lot of power for a sidearm.
yeah. Going down for the toes on Register. Register managing to step out of the way just at the last second, so he stays in. 4 balls now for Dreadnought, coming up to the line to take their shot, giving 2 balls away right at the center.
It looks like Wagner was hit there.
Does eliminate him.
4 balls now. And Connor Schmidt, big throw.
Yep.
I believe the Schmidt brothers are an example of a family that came from baseball. Costas getting under that with a nice block. Costas a really solid player in the corner.
Yes.
Again, we've seen in previous games today with Toilers, Costas being that anchor player, really running the clock, being really, really hard to hit. And in some cases, closing out rounds where it's down to just one of him and multiples on the opposite team. So
Looks like there was a catch on the side of Dreadnought, but unfortunately Ben did get eliminated, but Captain Ben does come back in. And there goes Schmidt. That was a hit from Register, and that takes Toilers down now to just 2 players. This might be the first point on the board for Dreadnought if they can just eliminate those other 2.
Nice movement from Register there, getting out of the way.
Block from Klechevsky, so he stays in.
So we're going to be looking for some big offensive plays here from Carrier, Register, and from Gordon.
I think Carrier might play it safe. He definitely likes to stay up at the line, but he does more so that for fishing the balls than he does for actually offensive. And right in the crotch.
It was a little bit of a dangerous hit, too, because the way that he moved his body, it deflected the ball sideways.
Yeah.
Almost taking out Groening, but not quite, so...
He's a tall, skinny guy, but he's not quite olive oil, so he shouldn't really be turning sideways like that.
You know, sometimes it's hard to know what the right dodge is.
Yes.
Carrier, though, does have a really good track record of getting out of the way, so... Oh, Groening looking for a throw, and Costas reading it perfectly. He waited until his foot was planted. He was committed to the throw. He knew he wouldn't be able to dodge.
Right at the windup, but he gets hit in the butt.
Absolutely.
Going low on Register. Register managing to avoid both of them. Gordon going sideways, dodging it. Klechevsky going for a catch, getting hit out. Just Costas left against Register and Gordon.
And you know what? This is a really good matchup right here. Like I was saying earlier, Costas is a great anchor for his team. And both of these players on Dreadnought have a lot of experience.
Yes.
So we have got a really great anchor with a great success rate up against 2 players who know exactly what they're doing, are slow and controlled and non-emotional players. So this could go really either way.
I think the only thing is the players getting antsy because we know that elimination is coming up, which the buzzer just went for. So I think that it was really just a matter of trying to throw those balls, trying to get that hit right at the last moment so they could start the round in elimination. But in no blocking.
No blocking,
It is going to go into sudden blocking.
Sudden death, no blocking.
Yeah. No blocking rounds.
And there's the hit.
So that's going to finally put Dreadnought on the board. Teams are going to switch sides now. So there is a 2-point differential, but Toilers are still leading with 3 points on the board.
And I got to say, you know, Dreadnought, every point they play, they improve markedly. So
Yes.
I'm not surprised that they took a point there in that half. That was the most cohesive they had played in the half. And if they can continue that forward, they may take a couple more this time around. You know, they are adapting as a team, it seems, really well to their opponent. I can't say for sure if that's happened in every game that they've played, but they do seem to be able to adapt effectively to Toilers. So we'll see what happens in this round.
Yeah, that's one thing about playing together as a team and practicing together as a team is you have like your certain plays that you do, you have your strategy, you kind of have your go-tos. But for a team like Dreadnought, they've never played together, so they kind of have to think on the fly. They kind of are like right on their toes, so they're kind of coming up with it as they go, and that's what's going to confuse a lot of the players on those teams that have those like predetermined strategies.
Yeah, you know what? Absolutely. Sometimes a little bit of chaos goes a long way.
Yep.
It's not always a great long-term strategy, but it can certainly throw a monkey wrench into your best laid plans. So I think you're right about that.
Yep.
We can't disregard the fact that on Dreadnought they have strong leadership, right? Between them, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 really effective long-term players And so I think that they have a really good shot here. Toilers lining up. They look like they're ready to go. Curious to see what this rush turns out like. A couple fast runners over on the Toilers side.
Yeah,
Wagner and Corsai.
Sure.
Rob.
Yeah, Rob.
Wagner really quick. Wow. So much faster than everybody else on court.
Takes out Gordon and Savarin for the Dreadnought side. It's going to bring it down to 4 players now.
You know, I saw in a game earlier with Wagner, and he was running alone against Dark Horse. And now I get it. I understand why, because that was some speed.
Yeah, they did manage to take Wagner out, though. So it's just down to 5.
You know, that's the downside of being a fast runner right off the draw there, is that often you'll be a large target, and you don't always get to play through your points all the way. So,
So it is 5 players on the side of the Toilers. I didn't see Enigma there.
Yes, Tashino, our Enigma.
It says Enigma on the back of his jersey, so he likes to be a man of mystery.
I like how his number is a question mark. That's lovely. Oh, Carrier getting out of the way.
When the big ones go down fast like that,
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
the louder the thud.
Up comes Groening. Look at those shoes he's got. I really like them. I wear similar like wrestling shoes like that, but that color is great.
And that's Tashino being eliminated, just making sure that, that was elimination, steps out.
And that's really smart because it hit him and it went straight up. So rather than stepping out immediately, he took himself out of the play, but wanted to make sure that ball wasn't caught.
Yeah, because once the ball is caught, even if you step out, you are not allowed to re-enter.
Yeah.
So either you step out real quickly and there's a catch and you are allowed to re-enter, or you stay in the catch and you're good to go. That one's always a tricky situation, so luckily it doesn't come up too much.
Yeah, it's
Always
hard. It's hard.
hated
It's the
having
worst
to
when it
judge
doesn't.
those in
Though.
record. Oh. So 3 players now for the side of
Borkus getting out of the way. Borses, Ben. Dreadnought coming right up to the line that it looked like it might have been a pre-counter from Toilers. But now the burden's back with Dreadnought. There's some big fakes from Ben Groening here.
That's what we're going to see now. It's basically a 3-on-3 at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I like how Toilers is really not giving up the line there. They're coming right up, pushing everybody back. But they're not holding it, hey? They're not staying up there. They're retreating and allowing Dreadnought to come up to the line. Now, I don't know if that's an indication that they are confident on their offense against Dreadnought, or if they're just a different style of play, less aggressive.
I just want to give a shout out to the new Toilers jerseys too. They almost kind of have a Blue Jays vibe to them.
They do feel like Blue Jays jerseys. I have a Blue Jays jersey. Looks just like that, I'm pretty sure.
That's Captain Ben.
Groaning there, yeah.
Captain Ben just got eliminated, to put it that way. All right, so we've got 4 balls now for Dreadnought. Ooh, looks like Ford threw away both of his balls. I'm not sure if that was strategic or impulsive, but really had to dodge that counter made by Costas there.
Oh, and a hit.
Yeah. And Trigger was eliminated during that exchange. So it's going to be another point now for Toilers. I think this is going to be the last time on the stream today that we're going to see Dreadnought. We do have Toilers coming up against Tempest later on today. We're going to see Dark Horse taking on Heathens next. Dark Horse being a new team made up of a bunch of previous Vengeance players and a few other players from other teams.
Retro players.
Yes, Vengeance and Retro.
Vengeance and retro, basically, yeah. Tashino, and yeah, that was a really nice jump and block there. Oh, I thought Tashino was hit.
Yeah, I thought that was a hit too, but I guess it wasn't. Might have come up just a little close, so you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Wagner up high there, trying to draw some balls.
Again, big
managed.
thank you to the referees. They can't
Yes.
always see everything, but they try to make the best calls they can, and we always defer to the referees' calls.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some really great refs this tournament, and really doing a super job. You just can't play without them. So
Just like Corcells and Ben being eliminated. Both of them going for catches and not quite connecting, so it's going to take them down to four players, and Toilers now with the burden with those 4 balls.
oh, a nice follow-up shot there from I think Tomchuk.
Yeah, and that takes out Jordan.
That was a nice follow-up there. There was a straight-ahead shot, and then Tomchuk just had a half second later on his release, so that after Jordan felt confident and comfortable that he'd survived that offensive play and he'd made his block, kind of came in from the side and took him out and disarmed there on Groening.
I remember during the break, I was talking to Carrier for the side of Dreadnought, and he said some of the teams have started to catch on that he dodges to the right, and he said he's not an ambi dodger.
Not an ambi dodger. Ticino saying no hit from the ref. He had a nice block, and then he thought maybe he was hit. Oh,
Yeah, no, the referees
and the
are
ref is calling it a hit. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice sportsmanship on behalf of Ticino there.
Yeah.
Oh, Tomchuk with a big dodge.
Absolutely appreciate it when you see players take their outs. I mean, he might have not 100% felt that. He might not have noticed it, but he did defer to the referees, and he did walk off.
You know, sometimes it is tough when you're in the heat of the game and, something hits you maybe on your tip of your shoe
I think he
or
hit him in the knee pads, and that's
on the knee pad.
potentially why he didn't feel it,
Yeah.
because some of those knee pads are really bulky.
Absolutely. And when you're jumping around and doing all kinds of crazy things, there's a lot of noises, a lot of sound. Basically, just a lot of sensory things happening, and sometimes you just don't notice.
So during that play, Severin was eliminated, but he did have one of his balls connect with another ball. So both balls eliminated it dead in midair because they connected.
Yeah.
Not often you see that kind of, I can't remember what it's called.
It's a dead ball connection, air connection in the air. Yeah, I don't know if it's got a specific word, but you do see it sometimes with when you have left-handed and right-handed players playing opposite each other.
Yes.
The trajectory of the balls tend to be a lot more likely to hit. And if you've ever practiced or tried to play like a quick back and forth game as a right-handed person with a left-handed person, you'll find that your balls collide in midair quite a lot.
Beautiful catch by Wagner. Gets down to his
Wagner.
knees, goes
Nice.
right in the bread basket.
Oh, I think it was Tomchuk. Yeah, Wagner's on the bench.
Oh, sorry. Very similar
They
looking.
do look similar, yeah.
Very similar.
Carrier getting hit, looking down on the dodge there. 4 balls now to Dreadnought. We have a score of 5-1, 5 minutes left.
Captain McKenzie staying in.
All right, and we've got Captain Don McKenzie here looking for the call. Here's it from Eric McEwen. And McEwen sets it free with Costas on a follow-up, and that ball was almost caught that Costas sent, but not quite. And close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So. A nice little spin dodge there from Gordon. Not generally something that you want to suggest. A spin dodge means that your back ends up to the ball, and that's something you never, ever want to do in dodgeball. But Gordon's been around the block a few times. He knows what he's doing. One player left now from Dreadnought. And another point to Toilers. You know, Dreadnought still, they're doing a great job. They're looking positive, playing hard. Oh, and now we're seeing Vivas in for the first time in this game.
This is the first time he's coming in this game.
Yep. So they're switching it up a little bit on the roster. Gordon coming out to act as a ball retriever.
I think they're going to give Vivas a bit of a break because Captain Ben was late to arrive today. Missed the first
False
game.
start now there. First false start of the game. So if you leave, if your foot leaves the line before the whistle, that's considered a false start. 2 false starts and it's a yellow card.
And you play short.
Yep.
It's clear for full line of 6. So it looks like Dreadnought ball control. They've got 5 balls in hand, but there are 6 players on the court. Taking a shot right through the middle, not connecting with any players. Now the burden is going to be on the Toilers. Toilers now 4 balls in hand, coming up to the line. Throwing straight across and taking out Captain Ben.
You know what? Viva's looking really, really good there. A couple really big dodges, getting out of the way. That movement looks strong and some big feints. He's fresh, right? He hasn't been on the court yet this game, so smart move on the behalf of Dreadnought to bring in a fresh player with some fresh legs, fresh arm.
Yeah. It's good to give players a break when they need it. Obviously, they know their body best, and we've still got some more games to be played today, so we want to make sure that everyone doesn't injure themselves, because injuries are always the worst.
Thankfully, it's only a one-day tournament. Tournament play, anyone who's played it knows that it can be extremely taxing.
Yes.
But a one-day tournament, you can really just put your foot on the gas and leave it there the whole time, and worry about the pain tomorrow.
Yeah, as long as you don't lose that momentum, you're good to go. So it looks like now we're coming up to the line. And yeah, that is a hit off of...
Oh, no, Venus with the throw, but it was a catch by
Carrier's eliminated as well.
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie is good for catching.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think earlier in the year, he attributed his catching prowess to having a dad bod.
Well, he does have a beautiful daughter.
He does.
So he definitely is a dad. And really nice shot there from Register that connected on Mackenzie.
Register is one of those players who's been around for a while. He's a little bit quieter. You don't really expect a lot out of him, but he knows how to bring the heat when it's needed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's always been a clutch player. Oh, nice catch.
Yeah, catch and hit, but then Register gets eliminated off a finger hit. Captain Ben comes back in.
So the catch was Twirden. And now Groning's back in. The Sabrin.
Giving a jump as he comes over the line.
He took his time there, which was really smart. You have a reasonable amount of time to enter the court.
Yeah, but gets eliminated immediately off that counter that he took after his counter off the throw.
But he doesn't let it phase him. Groning's giant smile, just like always.
Sabrin eliminated, so 50 seconds left on the clock. They're going to try and line them up as quickly as possible, otherwise it goes straight into no blocking, depends on how fast they line them up. And that's going to be the end of that one. It looks like Toilers might take this one. There is a 6-point differential. Dreadnought only managing to score 1 point this game, but putting up a good fight against Toilers.
And you know what? Toilers, in this tournament already, have played some of the best teams, and they've given some of the best teams a run for their money. And now Dreadnought's giving Toilers a run for their money, which just goes to show how closely matched this whole tournament is. Mm-hmm. Nice catch there by Carrier. And Wagner gets it right in the legs.
Balls are on the side of Toilers. Unfortunately, they are going to have to send some over. Because it is no blocking right now.
So Dreadnought has 6 players, which
they might
is
get their second point of the
may
game.
very well may. Oh, right on the tip of the head there for Gordon.
Moss is getting eliminated, so it's just McHugh and the Golden Boy left in.
Just McHugh, but only 1 ball on the side of Dreadnought right now. Hands off into the middle. Oh, off to the end to Carrier. 2 balls now on the side of Dreadnought.
Carrier being his former teammate, he knows how to stare him down. Unfortunately, he gets hit out, but the ball was in the air, so he still managed to release it legally.
Yeah, really good heads-up play there by Carrier, actually. A lot of people don't, in the heat of the moment, have the wherewithal to remember that you can still throw your ball. You're not dead until the ball's dead. And there's the hit.
Jinx.
Exactly. The hit from Register to end the game. 2 points to Dreadnought. They've got to feel good about that.
Yep.
There is a point differential possibility in this round robin. So it is super possible that having a couple of points on a team like Toilers can do some good for them a little later on. Well, that brings us to the end of our Toilers versus Dreadnought. Next up, we're going to have Dark Horse versus Heathens. I'm going to be taking a break to cheer on my friends in this game, so you may see me on court. And I will be replaced by some other lovely, talented folks around here.
I think we're going to have Julie hopping back on the mic. She's going to join us for a little bit. I'm still going to be here, so you're stuck with me, but we might get some other people as soon as teams start getting eliminated. We're going to get some of the men's players, and they're going to join us on the mic. And we'll see them later on. So, coming up next, Dark Horse and Heathens.